Dr. Waqar Naqvi is Assistant Professor in the Department of Physiotherapy in the College of Health Science. Dr. Naqvi has more than 172 peer-published research articles, which include 6 patents, out of which 2 are granted and 4 are published, 12 copyrights and 3 textbooks in his name. Now we have Dr. Naqvi. So your time starts now.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I won't take much time. I'm taking a part of my PhD project in front of you all, and it deals with gamification. Do you know what is gamification? Any idea about having gamification? What are games? Gamification. Yeah. Yeah, it is useful now. The thing is, gamification means when we use gamification as a part of our therapy or any treatment or any evaluation in healthcare sciences. That is what gamification is all about. It has been widely said before. I think you have taken the old slides. So I'll just put up in the proper timeline. This is the time of metaverse where we are dealing with a lot of things, with new technologies, especially in the healthcare sciences. We are now seeing, when we started this session, Dr. Ravalesh was absolutely wonderful in MedLab. It came into health sciences. After that, we heard Dr. Sudhir Rana. He was totally into the scholars and all. Even sustainability model. So if we connect all these 4 models and even the starting talk with the precision medicine, it is interfering in each and everything. The AI, the metaverse, the artificial intelligence, the augmented reality, the virtual reality is now becoming a very much important segment in healthcare sciences and healthcare management. So if we see now in metaverse, in healthcare sciences, it is going from radiology. There are a lot of good projects, like Dr. Ravalesh will be knowing it. Even the AI, Dr. Vinay sir is there for it. We can see how it is going embeddedly, properly into the healthcare sciences. It is also going into medical education and training. There are a lot of new technological ways of even writing the papers, predicting the papers, and doing everything as a chatbot. Even we can see now publications. ChatGPT can do work with the publication. It is a part of it. Students are using it, right? But we also got an anti-plagiarism software for ChatGPT now. So the thing is, it depends how we are moving into it. And we feel we are blessed to be into this phase where we are trying to explore the AI, the metaverse, the artificial intelligence, not only into one domain, but into the complete healthcare sciences. My project is a small part in which I try to see as a physiotherapist, can we have certain things which we can contribute to the society? Can we have certain things in gamification, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, augmented reality? Can it will be helpful for the patients? So we try to see how we can help with that. Now, if you know or don't know about, in PPTR also we are having a very big lab of virtual reality. But we still see there are patients there. Physiotherapy, if you see, it is a very tedious, it's a very taxing, and sometimes it's very boring for the patient. But when we see in physiotherapy, most of the patients, either they are pediatrics or geriatrics, and both love to play games. They both love to play games. So what we did, we tried to figure out let's say we can have some smaller population like distal radial fracture, which is very common in physiotherapy. From in every 1,000 of the patients we get, 4 patients are of distal radial fracture. So we thought to just check the efficacy of gamification using Oculus Quest. We know Oculus Quest. People are using head-mounted gear now. They are playing games. Even Netflix, even everything, you can watch it from there into 360-degree view. So we did a small research gap analysis, how the gamification can be very useful for the distal radial fracture patients. So when we did a research gap analysis, we found that there are a medical gap where we are not able to find a proper research which has a proper investigation done on that. Every research, every study has a proper baseline, and that baseline is a research gap analysis. Unless and until it is not strong, research is not strong. That is also one of the responsibility of the scholar to understand the research gap analysis. Unless and until the research gap is not strong, the research is not strong. We need to also have the practical knowledge gap with our experience. We also should have a knowledge gap. So when we summate everything, we found out, like, okay, let's try a patient with distal radial fracture with gamification, distribute into two groups. We had 146 patients, and we divided them into 73 and 73, just to check. So we did a randomized control trial that was superiority based, single arm with 73 into each group. We did a proper allocation, of the sampling and everything. What we found before into the research gap, like the physiotherapy is tiresome and tedious, it needs more longer treatment. There is a problem with the motivation for the treatment adherence and the patient compliance. That is a very big issue in physiotherapy. If a patient, we ask them to come for 7 days or 8 days, and if they get relieved, they will not come. Even we, if we get relief from the pain in 1 day or second day, we won't go there, like, because now we are relieved with it. In gamification, it is much more immersive. It is much more motivating because it follows the behavioral approach also. It also standardizes the quality of treatment. There is a precision in motion tracking and accuracy. If Dr. Ravadesh will be knowing it, like gamification or motion sensing or AI, they are much more precise. After some days, they are going to diagnose everything. Like the med palm and everything, the chats are coming up, they are going to diagnose and take everything. We are just going to see the things, is it correct or not. And the last thing, it is more recent and more asset. So our main objective was to see how it can be helpful for pain, range of motion, muscle strength, overall working on the functional independence on the patient. When we are dealing with the upper limb, it needs a functional independence. We cannot keep it idle. So whenever we work with a patient as a physiotherapist with a rehabilitation purpose, we always see like we deal with the functional independence as whole. So in methodology, we did a randomized control trial with 146 patients, and it was computer generated randomization. We used pain, range of motion, grip strength, and functional independence. For that, we used a measurement like visual analog scale, universal goniometer, which measures the range of motion, Jammer hydraulic handheld goniometer for the strength, and a dash questionnaire, that is disability of arm, shoulder, and health questionnaire. We also used Oculus Quest, which is very economical. Even in UAE, it is either like 1200 dirhams or 1500 dirhams. Television screen, whirlpool bath, that is for the aquatic therapy also sometimes in physiotherapy, TheraBands, dumbbells, and softball. We followed everything with the consult guideline, like the basement assessment, the basement evaluation, then after 2 weeks and after 4 weeks. So we use gamification properly with a framework. We always see the mechanics, dynamics, and the aesthetics related to the game which we are seeing. Since it is gamification, it is serious gaming, we have to be adhered with the objective, like why we are taking this game. So there is a standard framework for that. Even now, Equator has developed a guideline on gamings. They have a proper checklist. Even when we try to publish the paper, the editors are here, like they know we need to have a proper checklist. So this is one of the game we use. This is known as Racket NX. And the second game we use, it is a Hollow Fit. It's so easy to get and just to try. So in the T group, we had a proper conventional physiotherapy consists of therapeutic whirlpool, joint mobilization, range of motion exercises, and the fingers exercises. In analysis, I am going to summate it much more faster. Like when we see, obviously, we are going to see an improvement in everything. Every researcher is going to see like improvement in everything. So there was an improvement in pain. It was improvement in wrist of flexion, wrist extension, radial deviation, ulnar deviation, forearm pronation, and forearm supination. And even the grip strength, we find out it increased superbly with gamification as compared to the conventional physiotherapy. Even the dash score got improved. So when we checked this thing into a 6-level hypothesis testing, we saw a critical value. When we started this project, we did a small pilot study. It's always better to do a pilot study to find out the critical value. And when we have the critical value, it is easy to evaluate that thing with the final result. So when we check with the 6-step mechanism, we concluded that on the superiority of 40%, that is much more easier to do, and patient was loving that treatment. The dropout was just one patient in a group because people were loving it. So we confirmed our findings with the hypothesis, and we rejected the null hypothesis, and we found out with all the critical value like gamification something important. So it's not only about this study, but it shows a way to see how this metaverse or AI or VR or AR can be integrated part of every profession setting here, not only for physiotherapy, not only for radiology, not only for healthcare management, even for students. If you see this thing as a part of your professional life, it is very useful. So this is what we had. Thank you.